Welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour's Golden Hour. Thanks for joining us. We're so excited to be back. Ahoy there, Sailor Susan. How are you doing?
Absolutely lovely. I'm having an amazing time. We're going to tell you all about it. First and foremost, we love answering your questions, so keep submitting them. We love reading them. We love discussing them. And Kathy and I sometimes are on opposite ends of the answer or the advice, and a lot of times we agree. So it's enjoyable. Please keep them coming. And you know how to do it. You can DM us on Instagram at Bachelor Happy Hour, or just go to bachelornation.com/golden hour and submit away.
And we know that we want to hear from you, so send us everything. Your questions, your updates, your comments. Just send all of it to us. You can also DM us on Instagram at Bachelor Happy Hour.
So, Kathy, before we get into today's episode, let's talk about last night's episode.
Wait, can I just say, I was there. I mean, I was in Bachelor in Paradise, and I was watching the show going, wait a minute, how did I miss that? How did I miss that? Like, I don't even know where to begin. But I mean, we can talk about, like, you tell me, like, what are the biggest things for you? Because I was blown away.
I'm going to go from last to first, obviously. When Faith come flying in on her horse, I thought, oh boy, here we go. It's going to get interesting.
Well, that's going to be next week. I got to say to you, last week when we talked, I talked about the word of the week was vibing. The word this week is deaded.
Oh gosh, if he said it one more time.
But can I just say?
When she gave him the rose, Kathy, I was so surprised.
So let's go back for a second. First of all, I love them both. Truly. They are dear, so kind to me. I love them both. I mean, first of all, I just have to say that girl should be a makeup artist. She's just amazing with a paint palette, but they're so cute together. So I really didn't know a lot of that was going on. Because when I see them on Paradise, they're, I saw a little bit of running back and forth, but I'm watching the show going, wait a minute, was I there?
He kissed somebody else, and she finally said, when were you going to tell me? Well,
what did you think about that?
Well, I didn't like his whole attitude. It was a red flag if I ever saw one.
I mean, when he said change the channel, and then we started with the whole deading it. I have to tell you, I've been reading stuff on social media. People are writing dead, DEAD. People are writing debt, DEBT. I'm like, that's because deaded is not a word. But Dale, I love you anyway. I don't know what the hell it means. But
I kind of felt sorry for Jonathan. Did you?
At which point?
Many different times. I mean, everybody was like friend zone, and then towards the end, right before the rose ceremony, when he was kind of hoping because she was mad, but yet she picked him anyhow. She gave the rose.
I mean, I don't know whether you can call me stupid or totally involved with Keith and the Goldens. I don't know. I had no idea any of that was going on. Jonathan and I
different scene. Yeah, I get it.
No, I mean, we were all in the same place. It wasn't like I just came in from Mexico City. I mean, I was there, but I don't know. So that whole thing, I have to say, shocked me. And I was watching it right along with you and the rest of Bachelor Nation. Yeah. And I don't blame Jonathan for being surprised. But honestly,
surprised when April called his name?
Well, so yeah, a little bit, although come on, we love April, but come on. As I said on another podcast that I'm going to hear about for the end of days, I said, come on, guys, it's April. She lives in Cougar Town, but April is just the sweetest. And I honestly, she did say that she wanted to give him another chance at love.
Yes.
And I think that's very sweet of her.
I don't think she meant herself, just to stay
on.
Yes.
She did. No, she said other girls, other young women will be coming. And I thought it was very sweet of April.
How about the jealousy when Jack was watching?
Wait. Before we go there, again, I think I was, I don't know, I was drowning in the pool or, finding some tequila or something. Can I tell you, I never knew that April was making out with Jack. Do you know when I found that out?
What?
With you when I watched it. I had no idea. I had no idea. Zero idea that she had made out with Jack.
But then the other guy was flirting with her, and Jack's looking and looking and looking. And at the end, of
Who?
course,
Kim? Who?
yes,
Who was flirting with her?
Kim. I didn't like the way he let April down either. What? Are you kidding me?
I mean, I thought that was a little rough of Kim. What do you think about Kim saluting all the time? I know he was a captain in the Navy, but I'm sorry. Stop
It's in his
saluting,
blood,
Kim.
man. It's in his blood. Totally in his blood.
So, okay, so let's talk about Gary and Leslie's date. What'd you think of that?
That was great. They loved to dance. And I think Gary, I love him to death because I know him. He's a sweetheart, but he's playing.
What do you mean?
He was leading on Natasha.
Okay, my heart. I felt so sorry for Natasha. Natasha said, in fact, I wrote it down. Natasha said that she really liked Gary because he looks into your soul. And I thought, and then she gave him the rose. And the next day, like, I'm watching the show going, oh, because I was so busy talking with other people. The fact that, she just felt so heartbroken. It's heartbreaking to see that.
Believed him. And he's a flirtatious, fun, kind of happy guy. And yeah. And then
I don't know.
Nancy, how about Nancy? She looked
Can we talk about how fabulous Nancy, if you're listening, even if you're not listening, you are absolutely stunningly gorgeous. You look beautiful. And she walked in. What did she say? Something like you don't think I'd miss this party. And I thought
I might be late, but I'd never miss it. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I think it's great that Nancy has arrived. I think, the guys are excited. I mean, Nancy's just incredibly fabulous. So who wouldn't be excited to see her?
Yes.
Can't wait to see where that goes.
I know.
I still can't believe April and Jack were making out. I just completely missed it, Susan. Okay. What about Alex and Andrew? Oh, I love them.
And the Brian and
what is going on? Again,
I was floored.
I mean, let me just tell you.
I was good, and then
I mean that's really tough.
You were just walking around looking good, Kath. You look great.
Really, you're so sweet. Wait, I got to say one more thing. Leslie, who I adore. Leslie and I had such a great time. We were roommates. I love you, Leslie. Her faces with Kim. Did she look in pain? Like he's trying to talk to her like,
She doesn't have a good game face.
No. And the poem he wrote her, I mean, she was looking away, looking anywhere. I mean, Leslie, I want to say, Leslie, come on. But there's clearly her body language. But wait, one more thing. I did not know. Again, I'm walking this tightrope here, right? Because I was there, and apparently I was unconscious for part of the time I was there. But I did not know that Keith said to Nancy that he had no romantic interest in me. I mean, Keith and I are great friends. I said it from the beginning of the show, but when he said he had no, I was like, whoa. I didn't know he said that to Nancy.
Because you guys were together the whole time. And he said he's reassuring Nancy. That's because he wants, obviously, to get to know Nancy. I can guarantee there's no romantic feeling.
I know. We're just going to have to see where that goes.
Yeah.
But all in all, I am proud of the Goldens. I have to address one more thing.
And I have to address something.
Okay. Okay, so when April gave the rose to Jonathan, all I could think of was, you just cannibalized. 3 Goldens went home. RJ, CK, who I, by the way, wanted a date with, so I wasn't happy. RJ, CK, and
well, you got to do the belly shot.
Yeah, well, I was waiting for you to. Is that what you wanted to bring up?
Kathy.
Is that what you wanted to bring up, Susan? I had never.
No, it isn't. I want to know how you felt hearing Keith tell Nancy. Did it make you feel kind of weird or sad or
not
something?
To be, it made me feel something. But you have to remember, Keith and I adore him. We have been friends. We met at an iHeart. We've met at a couple of different events. So, I mean, I think not really. Honestly, Keith has said many times he wants a woman between 50 and 60, and I'm not. And that's okay. You know, he can have whatever he wants, or he can't, but you know, that's fine. I think that I agree with you, Susan. I think he was trying to let Nancy know that he was open. I don't know that Nancy, we're going to see what happens. I don't know if Nancy's open or not, but I think if I'd had real romantic feelings for Keith, it might have been hard. But Keith and I are friends. Like, you know, like if you told me you didn't love me, Susan, I would cry because we're friends.
Say that.
I know. So, but I do think it was hard sending so many Goldens home. Jack went home, RJ went home, and CK went home. And so we had a lot of women and very few men, and that makes it tough. I mean,
yes, it does. It changes it, you know, because there's hardly anybody left. And we just have Faith riding in and Nancy just getting there. Who's there it's like, for them? Right.
Well, and apparently now me. And then Leah and Sean came, and they are fabulous. Yes. Oh, and just lovely people. So it was a great week. It was a great week, and I can hardly wait for next week.
I know. And she won't tell us anything ahead of time.
That's right. So I know the rules. I know the rules. So, okay. Well, I think it's time. Let's get into this week's episode.
So, Kat, where are we now? How amazing. We're pulling into Istanbul, and one half is on Asia and the other half is in Europe.
My gosh. So I've never been, one of the things I said on Golden Bachelor was my goal was to get to all 7 continents. I can now say, after being in Istanbul, that I've hit another continent. I'd been to Europe, but now I've been to Asia. I'm going to be very honest and admit, I did not know that the city of Istanbul in Turkey, actually part of the city, 12 million people live on the European side and 8 million live on the Asian side. And so Susan and I had this great driver. He took us across. We took pictures. And so now I can honestly say I've been to Asia.
I thought
what about you?
We're the boat's cruising through the narrow waterways, and you see on both sides of you different continents, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But
okay, the other thing,
we'll tell you more.
We'll tell you. Wait, we got to do one more. We got to talk about one more.
Okay.
So there's great shopping in Istanbul. We've been to mosques, and here's the interesting thing: I've learned so much. They have call to prayer 5 times a day, and the first one is at 4:30 in the morning, and they have these. It used to be people doing it over these towers that would just convey all over the city. Now it's technology, right? So they have recordings, and you wake up at 4:30 and you hear the call to prayer for, let's call it 5 or 10 minutes, 5 times a day. It happens.
They sing that. I don't even know what they're saying, but I know.
There is something out of the Quran that I can tell you. It is unbelievable. But this city is absolutely beautiful. The mosques, we can't wait.
They were, wow. One was bigger than the other. And Kathy, you actually noticed this. The men, they all kneel down and bow, and that's how they pray. And they do it, like you said, 5 times a day. But the women are in a different section. And I found, you called that out to me. I didn't notice it at first.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting. We're learning quite a bit.
And then the other, the Sophia Mosque is 1,600 years old. I mean, it's ridiculous to walk into a sanctuary that is 1,600 years old. I did make a joke and said that it was older than Susan, so no one hit me for that one.
You might see that online.
You might.
You can't help yourself. It just...
Yeah,
all right, now we got to today's episode. And let's start with the question of the day. Okay. How has alcohol changed for you as you've gotten older? What are hangovers like in your golden years. What else has changed about your drinking habits in this phase of life compared to when you were in your 20s? Go ahead, Kath.
Well, I will say when I was in my 20s, when I was younger, I drank a lot of red and white wine. I was pretty much a wine drinker. And I'll be honest, now I'm pretty much of a tequila, soda, and lime girl. We call them in Texas ranch waters or vodka, soda, and lime. I don't honestly really get hangovers because I don't get drunk. And one of the reasons I don't get drunk is I drink a lot of club soda with my shot of tequila. But I think as you get older, it disrupts, at least for me, I should speak for myself. Alcohol and wine disrupt my sleep, as does the call to prayer at 4:30 in the morning.
I think a lot has to do with the sugars in it, but definitely.
I mean, do you drink differently now?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I tried to drink like crazy when I was young and hangovers, and I would hug the bowl. The room would spin. I'd throw up all the time. I'm not crazy about that much drinking. So as I got into my golden years, I enjoy a good bottle of wine. I'm not the whole bottle, but occasional espresso martini, but I don't get drunk to have a hangover. My hangovers are probably staying up too late. Although there is girl in bed. I've had.
Yeah, I was going to say, Susan, don't lie. She loves her grandma. Yeah. I will say, though, that alcohol, I think, affects you differently as you get older. I do think it does. People get drunk faster. I've seen that. People, as they get older, they get drunk faster. But well, that's what I've seen. But drinking is a social one of our social norms, and I have seen people drinking just soda water and lime because they don't want to drink anymore. And I think that's great too. I just think it always comes down to good behavior, bad behavior. And you know what I always say, Susan, being drunk is never an excuse for bad behavior. I don't care if you're 20 or 200, right?
And I agree. And also being drunk never looks good on you. It really doesn't.
I mean, at any age, right?
Yeah,
at any age.
I used to ask Dad, let me enjoy something. What could I sip, just to be social because it's not my thing. And he tried to get me to enjoy scotch and water.
Yeah.
And sip. I tried for like 5 days sipping. He would make one every night. And I'd be like, Dad, I can't do it. It just didn't acquire a taste for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an acquired taste. I have to tell you a real quick story. When I was in high school, I think I was a senior in high school, I had a friend, full-blooded Italian. You'll get this. Her grandfather literally was from Italy, did not speak English, and he made
the
homemade
wine downstairs.
He made the wine, and she invited me over. And I really hadn't had anything to drink, I don't think, before I was a senior in high school. And it tastes like grape juice, man. I loved it. I thought, oh my God, this stuff is great. And I loved it. Can I tell you? I had to work the next day. I woke up so sick. Italian homemade wine is lethal. I mean,
and don't get it on your clothes because it does stain.
I mean, it tastes like grape juice, though, Susan. It doesn't taste like wine.
I can't imagine that. I don't know.
It went down easy.
Wine, but
yeah, it went down really. Anyway,
we were young, and it was still like it wasn't an orange juice glass, but a little tiny glass, like here in Istanbul, they tea in it. That would be at our pasta table, and we got to do it. It's only a little bit, and it does something for the palate. They believe that.
Yeah, I will say in Europe, kids, they learn to drink younger, and they have wine, and it's just not the same taboo. But you know what? I'm not going to stop drinking, but I am very cognizant of the fact that when I get up in the morning, I want to feel good. I want to be able to go to the gym. So I'm careful about how much I drink.
This episode of Bachelor Happy Hour feel like your
spills and stains on steel frame ensures longevity.
Advantages that come with living in internet access by
but also real freedom from the to-do list right in front of you.
It just sticks with you. And now a lucky school will score a game-changer.
Into our fan questions. And here's the first one. It's from Anonymous.
Make some noise. Let's light up those Friday nights.
All right. As I put down this big glass of wine that I'm drinking, let's get into our fan questions. And here's the first one. It's from Anonymous.
Okay.
Hi, Kathy and Susan. I would love to ask some dating advice. I'm in my mid-20s and work in a male-dominated industry, tech engineering. When dating a man in the same industry, I feel like I have to minimize my career accomplishments or else the guy becomes jealous or dismissive of my career success. When dating outside the industry, the guys are typically uncomfortable that I make more money than they do and uncomfortable that I primarily work with all men. Is this a maturity thing that will get better with age? Where can I meet high-quality guys that are just as career-driven as I am? Thank you. So much to unpack there.
We're still trying. We went on national TV to find somebody. No. No, you know what, though? Never dismiss or make your career shallow. That's not a very secure man, unfortunately. You know, step up to the game, buddy. Be proud of what you've accomplished, right, Kathy? You don't want to hide the fact that you're successful. You also don't want to flaunt it in his face, but what do you think?
I think this is clearly, I shouldn't say, I think it's a woman because she's saying a male-dominated industry. So I'm going to go with this anonymous person is a woman. And I think that you, Anonymous, will resent a man if you minimize your career and you end up dating this guy because he will always put his career before yours if you've given him permission to do that. Be independent, believe in yourself, find the guy that celebrates you for your career accomplishments. If you are hiding behind who you are, you do not have the right guy. So move along and find a new guy. I mean,
and
really.
You ask for maturity thing, will that get better with age? I think it will only if the man was successful himself and he's proud of you and roots you on. Don't you want somebody that's in your corner rooting you on to be successful, right? Like our parents and your husband. I mean, everybody wants their spouse to do well. It's like you said.
I think it's like anything else, Susan. I think there are men out there that want submissive women, and there are men out there that are attracted to very successful women. And my advice to Anonymous, go find a guy who admires your drive and your accomplishments and your success, because then you can have an equal relationship and you can celebrate both of your successes and don't settle for anything less. You know, they're out there. You just got to find them. And this guy that you're dating, anyone like that, you know what my answer to you this week is? Throw him overboard.
She's got a whole ocean full of them. Honestly, though, don't minimize you. And like she said, it's not the right guy then, you know?
Yeah.
Especially if you're in the same field, like you're probably equal, or maybe she stepped up the ladder a little higher and they're a little lower. I don't know, but don't ever do less show for you. I also wouldn't bust his balls and say, well, you know what I get and you know what I do. You don't want to do that either. But
no, but another little piece of advice, you might think about dating somebody outside your industry. That's another idea, you know, so that you don't have to have the competition. I think it's sad. But I think you have to do what makes you feel good. You do, again, another little piece of advice. If you live your life the way you want to live it, Anonymous, the right people will come into your life. So get going, start living your life.
And anybody that's jealous is not a keeper. That's an ick.
Wait, would you date, Susan, I mean, you didn't have a career in a men's industry that you were dating, but what do you think about dating within your industry? Would you date a guy?
I would have loved to, yeah. We could share the same things, teach each other stuff. In my field back in the day, now it's different, but it was most men in the hair business were gay.
Yeah.
And, you know, I love them. They're my girlfriends, but yes, it just never happened, you know?
I
to
think
answer that question.
I think the reality, I'd like, in my idealistic moments, I would like to think that if, I went to Harvard Law School and was law review, I could meet, and I was, clerking on the Supreme Court, that I could meet a guy that was doing the same. But I sometimes think it's tough. I think it's sometimes tough when you're in the same industry. There's competition there.
There's powerful ones. Yes. It can be.
I don't know. I think it can go either way. It can be good. It can be bad. But really find the person who adds to your life, that doesn't take away from your life, that adds to your life. That's the best advice I can give.
And somebody that supports you in your career as well. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And hopefully you'll take some advice and do never lower yourself. Okay. The next one is also from Anonymous. Dear Kathy and Susan, I'm concerned my 65-year-old friend is being love scammed, but I'm not 100% sure. 6 months ago, she joined Blue Sky and saw that a musician she liked was on the app, so started following him. Very quickly, he messaged her directly and asked to take their conversation to Signal. Over the last 6 months, they've messaged constantly. He seems to be love bombing her. She started out skeptical. It was really this country star, but now is convinced, even though they've never FaceTimed nor even spoken on the phone, he's never asked her for money yet. But he also stridently refuses to speak to her voice to voice or face to face, even when she asks for a call on her birthday. He says it's because he's famous. He wouldn't want anything recorded and put out there without his permission. Oh boy. I told her I was happy to go to a concert with her and then she could go backstage. She liked the idea, but he didn't. He claimed it was because he was leaving right after without his permission. Oh boy. I told her I was happy to go to a concert with her and then she could go backstage. She liked the idea, but wouldn't want anything recorded and put out there to speak to her voice to voice, is convinced, even though they've never FaceTimed nor even spoken on the phone, he's never asked her for money yet. But he also stridently refuses to speak to her voice to voice or face to face, even when she asks for a call on her birthday. He says it's because he's famous. He wouldn't want anything recorded and put out there without his permission. Oh boy. I told her I was happy to go to a concert with her and then she could go backstage. She liked the idea, but he didn't. He claimed it was because he was leaving right after the show that night in the tour bus, and he wouldn't have any time to spend with her, as you can imagine. I'm still very skeptical that this person is who he says he is. After 6 months of texting, he's never once asked for a picture of her. What man doesn't want to see a woman he loves? And he's very hesitant to tell her much about the day-to-day life. I'm concerned he's trying to pull something over her. I'm just not sure what. He does seem to be making her happy. How do I support my friend but not enable a possible scam?
Okay, wait. I have a question before we even get into this. I am lost. I'll tell you why. He has not asked for money. They have not met. So she's got a pen pal. Now, if Anonymous said he's asked her for money, he wants her to buy him an airplane ticket to come and visit her, and he did, and she bought him the ticket. No, wait, he couldn't come. Anything like that, that's a scam. But this guy,
but he just hasn't gotten there yet. How could you go?
6 months. 6 months. He hasn't asked for money yet?
I would definitely have gone to that concert. You don't tell him next time he supposedly is performing. number one. Number two, his star name, country name, okay? Look him up. Make sure you know what he looks like. And when you show up to a place where he's performing and see that's not the person that you looked up, then you know. But eventually there are millions of scammers out there. I had guys, one that wouldn't talk to me on the phone, and I refused to talk to him anymore, email, anything. Finally, I get a phone call. And if you couldn't tell, the man was 19 years old just from his voice. It does come later. I got chocolates. I got a stuffed animal. I'm like, are you kidding me? Seriously. Because the woman is on to something. Our friend, you are on to something.
She is, but nothing has happened. So if I were you, Anonymous, I would say, look, I'm glad that you like Billy Joe, Sammy, Charlie, country star. But he's likely to not be who he says he is. So you know what? I'm glad he makes you happy. I'm glad having a pen pal makes you happy. But if he asks you for money, I'm guessing maybe some of this has already happened and her friend isn't telling the truth. That would be my guess, that there's already been some money that's changed hands. So I try to have a really serious conversation with your friend about scammers. You know, it's just so sad that golden people sometimes are so lonely that they are driven to having these scam relationships, thinking it's something more than what it is, which is a scam. And I think it's really sad. So I think you got to have the conversation with her. And at the end of the day, you got to, it's her life. You got to let go.
Just like read the writing on the wall. 6 months. He doesn't want your picture. You can't have his picture. I mean, it makes sense. And as a friend, you're right. You're watching her be happy. Pick the right moment. It's not going to be fun. Just say, babe, so many people have gotten scammed. I know he hasn't asked for anything, but when will you draw the line where you have to make eye contact? Or he's happy if you're okay with having a pen pal. I mean, if that's all you want out of it, never meet, so be it.
Well, he says, Anonymous says, he seems to be love bombing her. I want to know how he's love bombing her other than calling her.
Sweetest thing.
He's saying stuff.
He's typing it.
Right. But that to me, maybe, that's all this 65-year-old woman wants. Maybe that works for her. We don't know. But Anonymous, have the conversation with your good friend. Find out what she wants. I'm guessing she may have already sent him some money. Because you know what? Men who are scammers don't stick around for 6 months unless they're getting something out of the deal. So I hate to say that, but I dig a little deeper.
I hope your friend's there on time. But you know what? You're going to have to pick up the pieces because she's going to feel crushed afterwards. And go. I mean, even if you're her best friend, don't even tell her. You go. Take a lot of pictures.
Well, I mean, I don't think she knows if what the country stars go to, she could go to the concert and see him. She's not going to be able to get to the stage. I mean, whatever. Anyway, Anonymous, good luck. The problem here is you can't help your friend if she's on the road to destruction. All you can do is try to talk to her and see where it goes. But I hate that golden people are lonely and driven to online conversations that lead to nowhere. I think it's sad.
And 6 months is a long time. Yeah. Ask her to,
It's sad. Let us know. We wish you all the best luck talking to your friend, though.
This episode of Bachelor Happy Hour is brought to you by Malibution. Even if you're just in your backyard.
Sofas.com, you'll find space and style.
But also real freedom. From the to-do list.
Friday nights. $25,000.
They're energetic, curious want.
Don't do that anymore. So how do you? Okay.
My favorite thing to
do a golden spotlight where we talk about
healthy brain development too. Look for Shiva Perfect Portions Kitten Soft Pate. It's what kittens want.
All right. Today we're going to do a golden spotlight where we talk about something that impacts the golden community. beyond scamming. All right, today we're going to talk about travel in your golden years, my favorite conversation. Okay.
My favorite thing to do.
Okay. How, when you're young, I've met kids. My kids pack a backpack and go to Europe for 6 weeks. I don't think they change their clothes. We don't do that anymore. So how do you plan a trip that's right for you? Because I bet we do it differently.
How do I plan a trip that's right for me?
Yeah.
Usually it's someplace new. I know what it is I like. So I do some investigations and start there.
So I would be lying if I didn't say to you, I love, like one of the reasons I'm loving this cruise, it's all planned for me, not just the meals.
She does love that. Susan, where are we going?
I do.
Did you get a place?
My husband,
though.
My husband planned all of our vacations and they were always incredible. Because I've always said this, I feel lucky. If I'm in a foreign country and seeing, incredible things, I'm just happy because I'm seeing things I've never seen before. So
a trip that's right for you is just somebody else planning it. That's
well, no,
right.
Not always. I'm
Nowhere.
saying what's right for me is doing some really physical activities, some hiking, some walking, visiting some famous sites, having days for relaxing. The point is planning what you like. And sometimes that means planning it yourself, and sometimes it means going along with others.
And then the second one being finding excursions that work for you, which I think you already just said. So
yeah,
things you like to do, right? And if there's two of you going, you always consider the other person on what their enjoyment is, right?
Yeah. So Susan and I have been shopping. This cruise has been really interesting. Susan loves to shop. No surprise there. I've done a fair bit of shopping too, but I love going to the historical sites just to see them because I'll, seeing the Acropolis. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Seeing in Istanbul, seeing the blue mosque and seeing the cistern. These structures that are so old and so historic. I like to do a mix. So I think you have to, if you're going with a friend, you have to consider what they like and what you like.
Yes, that's what I said. And being in Greece, this is my second time and I got to see all that, but I definitely did it all with you again, except that morning. I didn't need to go back in there. Okay, with that being said, how to coordinate with friends that have busy lives and just like you. I set a day to meet, discuss the facts, who's going to get this done, who's going to do the airlines. Like it's a team effort. And if you know somebody's not real good at it, then don't put them in the mix. Just tell them how much it is.
And pick a date far enough in advance that works for everybody.
Right. Okay.
All right. How often should you be traveling? Oh, I don't know. What are you doing next week, Susan?
And depends on your budget.
Well, that's actually very true.
I feel very fortunate too. And the reason I get to do a lot because I have all these miles because I fly a lot of places and then you build up miles and like your trip, the only thing you need is the place to stay. Sometimes the airline will crush you, but if you work towards that, it does help. Okay.
I don't know. I think you should travel as often as you can afford to and as often as you feel comfortable leaving home. I mean, it's just that simple. Okay. Where are the best places to travel?
That's up to the individual, of course.
Yeah.
Like we're celebrating this cruise we're on. We're really having a nice time. And I've been on several. And I remember telling Kathy, usually by day 5, I'm done. I want to get off. And this was an 11-night cruise. And I got nervous, but far so good.
So far so good. I think the best for me, though, the best places to travel are, I think you and I just talked about this today, actually. It's a mix of walking, energizing, exercising, seeing historical sites, and then having some days where you just sit with a tequila and soda on a beach and relax, right?
My main thing is the beach. I like a pretty beach. I like good music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoy coming to Europe. I really do. But I'm an island girl. I've done them all several times. But I going to the Greek islands or the Italian Mediterranean or the French Mediterranean.
Let me just say, Susan has done her time in Istanbul and the historic sites. If anybody wants to talk to Susan in the next week, get out your orange juice cans and string because she's going to be on a beach. So call for her loudly among the waves because that's the only place you're going to find her.
Mykonos, here I come.
So wait, I have one more question, Susan. When you say the best place to travel, I'm a mix of wanting to go back to places I've been and then go to places I've never been.
Yes.
Are you the same?
Yes, absolutely. I do have favorites that I'll frequent. You know, me and St. Martin, I've been going for 15 years. Italy, 5 or 6 times. This is my second time in Greece. I like European vacations. I really enjoy it. So like you said, it's culture as well as history and beautiful water.
Yeah.
And great
Okay,
food.
wait, can I say one other great thing about cruising? I'm vying for a job on the cruise lines. Do you
those people are.
they work hard.
Minute.
I know.
Yeah.
But do you love the fact that we pack our suitcases, in my case, several suitcases, but then we get it, we unpack, and we don't have to pack again. We get to see different places, go to different countries, go to different stops, but we don't have to pack.
We've been on
different
two continents.
That's right. But we didn't have to pack up. We didn't have to pack up. I love that about cruising.
Unpack and move in, and all they have to do is go down the hall.
That's
and
right.
A lot
But
of halls and steps.
did you ever, I want the truth. I know the answer, but I just want to hear you say it to, me, because no one else is listening. Did you travel differently when you were younger? Did you pack less clothes, less shoes, less?
Never.
Yeah. No,
I was a flight attendant, Kathy. Flight attendant, and I knew we only had certain bags that we were allowed to carry. And I would surprise you how much stuff I have in there. But when you're a flight attendant and you're working, you don't need a lot of stuff. Like if you had 24-hour layover, you need an outfit or two. You know what I mean?
Can I call you out, Susan? Susan is literally every day when we're going to get up and do something, she'll say, oh, no, these shoes, these won't be comfortable, but I need them because they go with this outfit. Kathy, on the other hand, is in flip-flops saying, I don't care if it goes with it or not. Flip-flops it is. I mean, I still pack more than what I need.
Wait, guys, you're not ready for this. Get ready. Sit down. You're going to live. Okay?
Oh, boy.
Miss Fancy Pants over here. What are you wearing, Susan? We're going to the chapel, not a chapel, the mosque.
Mosque.
You have to have your shoulders covered. You can't wear that. You can't wear that. I'm wearing this, Susan. And she has a little tank, but she brings her wrap for your head. I did as well. Okay?
Wait, excuse me. I have to interrupt you. Whoa. I had on long sleeves and a long dress. And Susan's right. I was like, Susan, you cannot wear a spaghetti strap dress. You have to be covered. You can because I was worried she was going to get thrown out of the mosque. Okay, continue, Susan.
Okay, so that's exactly what I said. She was telling me ahead of time, you can't do this, you can't do that. Okay, I was prepared. People, mind you, putting the wrap on my head. I got pictures. The sweat. I was sweating my ass off. So we get up there. Now, Kathy's one, she gets excited, all right? She gets excited, she leaves you in the dust. She's gone. I was videoing her. 6 people ahead. She cuts them off. She can't wait to get in. We get up to get the tickets. Next thing I know, they're handing her some potato sack. I got pictures. I promise you, she had a tiny, now her dress was like midi, almost to the ankle, but not. And she had maybe a 6-inch slit, nothing. Trust me, nothing. She had to wear a potato sack. I was peeing my pants. You just can't make it up. Men had shorts on. They had to wear, she had the scarf around her head, the long sleeve, and a blue potato sack.
I mean, I'm telling you, I couldn't stop laughing. Oh, and then we take our shoes off. We had to take our shoes off. And then when we're leaving the mosque, Susan just stopped right there on the royal carpet, putting her shoes on. And the guy's going, not on the rug, not on the rug. Susan, she's like,
not like walking barefoot with all those barefooted boys.
So let me say, these are just some of our travails, some of our adventures on our cruise so far. I will say it was the most embarrassing moment, though, when I have the scarf over my head, the long sleeve shirt on, the long dress.
Best pictures. Kathy, you even said, no, get a picture of this, Susan.
It was one of the most, but you know what? I have to say, I respect the religion, I respect their culture, and I respect their rules. So I happily put on my potato sack and went in and loved the mosque.
The sad part was she was prepared. She made sure she had the right thing on. She didn't even know there was a 6-inch slit. I mean, trust me, people, it wasn't a slit up her thigh. It showed cat. I mean, come on.
It's all right. It's all right. I did the right thing.
Somebody that was trying so hard to prepare me.
As you can tell, we are having a blast on this cruise. Like I said, I'm just going to sign up for another one and not go home.
Wait, I thought I was going to have to bail her out of jail with the cab driver this morning, Kathy. We take this taxi on the way home. We stop and ask the gentleman, where do we get a taxi? We wanted to be back here so we could shower for dinner and so on. So the one man tells us, oh, no, you don't take a yellow taxi here. The rip-offs. We're like, oh, how do we find a way home? We always take a yellow taxi. He says, be careful. Tells us where the train is. So off we go up the street. Everybody approaches you here. Well, we make 2 more friends and we're asking them, right, Kathy? So she sees the one guy. I didn't see this part. He was asking the cab driver how much, right? You said you saw him walk.
I know. This is not my first rodeo. I said, how much to take us back to the port? He said the name of the port. I said, yes, that is the port. I said, how much? And he said 30 euro. I said, no way. And he said, all right, 20 euros. So I said, okay, we get in and we're driving. And now he says 30 euro because it's 10 euro to cross the bridge. Let me just cut this story very short. It does not cost 20 euro. I said to Susan, we're getting out. She's like, she looks at me like I'm crazy. The guy's going 40 miles an hour. I said, okay, I'm getting out. She held me back. We paid the guy 30 euros.
It's freaking hot. We've been walking for 7 straight hours, Kat. It's 10 extra euro. Just eat it. We're leaving all the way. And then I said to Kathy going over the bridge, where's the toll, Kat? I don't see a toll.
There's no toll.
There's no toll. Sir, where does it tell you that it's $10? He goes, on the way back.
Yeah, no, it was ridiculous. Let me just say, you've heard the song. You've heard the song, I Left My Heart in San Francisco. I left my last 10 euros in Istanbul with a taxi driver. All right, this has been too much fun.
At the age in Europe, was that the $10 maybe?
Oh, my God. Okay, as you all can tell, we're having a barrel of fun, but we really want to thank you guys, our listeners, for joining us today. We hope you're enjoying hearing about our cruise and our travels and answering some of your questions. It has been absolutely a blast sharing it with you.
The best is yet to come, so make sure you're following Bachelor Happy Hours. We have brand new stories coming out every week, and you're not going to want to miss this.
And make sure you submit your questions to us. You can go to bachelornation.com/golden hour or DM us on Instagram at Bachelor Happy Hour. Now, we may not answer them because we may be in jail for not paying the taxi fees, but we'll do our best to get back to you.
Oh, we paid. Make sure to listen to Bachelor Happy Hour's Golden Hour on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks, everybody, for joining us, and we're so happy to be sharing these fun things with you.
We're sailing away. Have a great week.